Hey guys, today we're doing a quick question, and the question is, how important is camera gear? And the quick answer is, it's very important, but it's also not very important. So let's delve into this. The reason I say that is that there are a lot of ingredients that go into being successful as a photographer, and certainly having great gear does not necessarily make you a great photographer. You need to have great technique and sufficient technical knowledge. You need to have creativity. You need to, of course, have opportunities to photograph. And you need tools, and when we talk about gear, we're talking about the tools that we use. Of course, we need cameras and other things and lenses and so forth to be able to take our photos. The first thing is that you definitely don't want to have gear that holds you back in any way. It's very common for people to have gear that frustrates them, usually because it's too complex for them. But there are also other ways in which camera gear can be frustrating. For example, if it's too heavy or it's too cumbersome, that can be very frustrating. So figuring out what is the right set of gear for you and for the situations in which you shoot, it can be tough, and that's one of the reasons that we often talk about gear a lot, even though in many respects it's not that important. And also, gear is often a significant investment. We spend a lot of money on it, and so we want to make the right decisions when it comes to spending. So figuring out the right gear that doesn't hold you back, that's important. That's number one. The second thing, which is sort of the opposite of that, is that at the other end of the scale, you not only want to have equipment that doesn't frustrate you or hold you back. In fact, you want to have equipment that enables you to do your best work. Many of you know that I'm a jazz musician, and for me there are a lot of parallels between what I do in music and what I do in photography. I often have my double bass in the living room, and when I walk past the bass, I often just want to play it. I often want to just reach down and grab it, and I do. I'll reach down and grab it, and I'll pick it up, and I'll play, sometimes just even for a short time, because I just love the sound of the instrument. I love the way it feels under my fingers and against my body, and it inspires me. And that's what you want from perhaps not all your camera equipment. Perhaps something like a tripod is not necessarily going to inspire you, but perhaps a lens might. Perhaps there's a lens that there's a certain focal length or a certain way that it renders. Perhaps it produces fantastic results when you shoot it in a certain way at a certain aperture. These are all things that can not only inspire you, but perhaps also sometimes challenge you too. Musical instruments, especially musical instruments that are handmade, sometimes there are little idiosyncrasies about the instrument, and perhaps it's challenging to play it in a certain place on the instrument, at a certain range of the instrument, perhaps down low or up high, but the results are fantastic, and it's worth the extra effort. And that's sometimes the case also with camera equipment. If you have a lens that has a big aperture and you like to shoot it wide open, sometimes that can be difficult when you've got to deal with certain things, especially if it's if you're shooting into the sun and there's flaring, and sometimes the results are just totally worth the extra effort. So thinking about not only gear that doesn't frustrate you or hold you back, but furthermore gear that inspires you and enables you to do your best work, and that you can fall in love with, or at least perhaps not the gear, but certainly the results. That's so important too. And then the third thing is that above and beyond anything, it's really important to have complete mastery over your equipment. A lot of people fumble, and at the wrong time. Sometimes when there is a photo opportunity, they're trying to figure out the settings on their camera and menus and all these other things. And so no matter what it is, having complete mastery over that gear, and not just the features and the functionality, but also even when it comes to cameras and big lenses, being able to handhold that stuff so that you can quickly move around and respond to any opportunity that comes up. That's really important too. So there you have it. I hope you found this video useful. Just to recap, we're talking about three things. One is, don't let the gear frustrate you or hold you back in any way. Find gear that inspires you and enables you to do your best work. And then thirdly, ensure that you have mastery over that gear. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, please post below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.